August marks the start of the preseason for not only football, but pheasant hunting too, with each generating plenty of excitement among South Dakotans. In tonight's Eye on Kettleland, Travis Fossing tells us what has everyone from the business owners to dog trainers to state officials optimistic about the upcoming pheasant hunting season.
Every October, an army of blaze orange-clad hunters descends on South Dakota in search of one thing.
The ringneck pheasant is the most perfect upland game bird in the world.
Dan Griffith is an avid pheasant hunter.
I try to hunt at least 5 days a week if I can.
He's a hunting guide.
I've guided senators, vice president, governors.
He's also a dog trainer. Today, Griffith is making the rounds with Annie and is clearly no stranger to the outdoors.
I grew up walking the fields. You know, I've lived in South Dakota 79 years. I've been walking the fields since I was probably 8.
If his resume wasn't impressive enough, Griffith is a former biology teacher and knows pheasants.
If there's one rooster for about 10 hens, you can still have good, fertile clutches of eggs. If a hen pheasant loses a nest because of a predator, she will renest and renest and renest up to 3 or 4 times until she has one clutch that hatches out.
With fall fast approaching, pheasant chicks are now out in force exploring the countryside.
I've heard there's a really great year, and we anticipated a good year.
Reports from the field, whether they're from our staff, landowners, the public, they are seeing big broods, they're seeing lots of broods. So all things are pointing towards a very, very good and productive pheasant season for this fall.
Nick Harrington is a communications manager with South Dakota Game Fish and Parks and says pheasant numbers are directly tied to the weather.
Those early spring rains we had, everything greened up on the landscape. You had really good cover. You have good cover, you're going to have good nesting conditions. You have that continue throughout the summer months, you're going to have good brood rearing conditions.
Game Fish and Parks doesn't have official brood numbers, but it's a nearly 1.25 million pheasants harvested last season that has Harrington most optimistic about this fall.
There were still some drought conditions across the state last year. They might have seen some of that emergency haying, grazing. That's not going on this year. The weather that we've had, the rains that we've had, the landscape looks absolutely spectacular, and that's what leads to those really good numbers.
Harrington says the #1 priority for the Wildlife Division is habitat and access, especially when the birds are plentiful.
What I am extremely proud to share this year is we have even more private land leased for public hunting. We're going to have 1,557,000 acres of private land that are available for public hunting across the state this fall.
And you can't overstate the importance of the sport in South Dakota.
It's who we are here. I mean, hunting, the outdoors, it's tradition here. The economic impact that it has in those small communities. I mean, you drive around and the Orange Army comes in, right? And it's awesome to see whether you're in Pierre, Huron, Redfield, Watertown, Sioux Falls. It's so great to see all these people that come here.
Pheasant hunting is a great way to meet family and friends and the yearly tradition of just getting out in the field and having a good time.
Matt Staub owns Northview Bait and Tackle in Sioux Falls.
I have been hunting since I was 12, 13 years old. That's why I married my wife.
She's from Brule County.
We were out there a couple of weeks ago, a lot of birds running around, a lot of chicks up on the road, and it's very encouraging to see.
And the hunters who stop by the store are telling a similar story.
It's not a ton everywhere, but they're seeing them where they haven't seen them before.
Griffith says the reports bring back memories of 1963.
My brother and my dad and I drove 1 mile west, turned and drove a 1/4 mile north, and had our 12 roosters road hunting the opening day.
It's days like that that keep Griffith coming back season after season.
I live for them, and I'm always optimistic, and I think this will be a fine, fun year.
With Eye on Kettleland, I'm Travis Fossing.
Love it. All right. Well, the youth-only pheasant season starts September 28th in South Dakota, followed by the resident-only opener October 12th, and then the traditional season October 19th. We provided a link with complete rules and regulations for pheasant hunting in South Dakota under this story on Kettleland.com.